John could do this, but I fit under here better. I'm just glad we're not staying at the Clown Motel.
Let me see you do that, Owen. What happened?
I rolled a whole mug of coffee in here. Oh, wow. Look at that. Nice.
That's a darn good thing there ain't carpet down there. What's the temperature outside?
30 degrees. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Let's leave her alone for a while.
Clean. Let's hope this is the only mishap this week. It is cold here at Benton Hot Springs, but we are moving on. We had a last dip in the water, and our next stop is Tonopah. That's the first place you can buy fuel between Bishop and Tonopah, so make sure you have a full tank. If you're looking to stay here at the hot springs, you need to know that they book months in advance. You can look at their calendar, but if you're lucky and you check all the time, you might find a slot open, and that's how we got this spot. So we're heading out into some continued cold weather, but it's going to be up near 90 by the end of the week. Let's go. I wonder who that half person is. That is fresh snow from last night's storm. This is not the first time we've traveled Route 6 through Nevada, but it is the first time we've encountered such cold temperatures. For the past week, we've been on the cusp of needing to winterize our rig. We became obsessed with checking our weather apps and the best options for overnight stays. Our campground options were limited, as many don't open until June. Look at the snow on the side of the pumps. Just glad we're not staying at the Clown Motel.
This is the Mizpah Hotel. It's supposed to also be on.
The Mizpah Hotel is supposed to have 3 ghosts. One in the basement,
On the 3rd floor, it's a lady.
one on the
5th floor.
one on the 3rd floor, and one on the 5th floor. Going farther than Tonopah would have risked the plumbing in our RV, so we opted for a scruffy casino RV park. Are you cold, John?
It's not just cold, it is frickin' cold. Oh, it's so cold.
It is warming up nicely here in Tonopah, but oh my gosh, that was the coldest night we've ever had. I don't know why. Out here, it's like 30 degrees, feels like 20. But John's in there doing laundry at the casino. I'm going to make a loaf of the sourdough bread that we like so much. This is the cinnamon orange in the Omnia oven. 30 minutes, it was done. This is my laundry man. Come on in, food's ready. Left the window open. Waiting out the bad weather in Tonopah also gave us the chance to check out the Central Nevada Museum. We got a whole collection of outhouses out here. When I was young, I was terrified of pit toilets. Always afraid I was going to fall in, like that woman did in Washington a few weeks ago.
On to the mining park.
And the very impressive Tonopah Historic Mining Park. Entrance to the right. I recommend you watch the introductory video before walking around the property. This is called a stope. Don, that's unbelievable. Check out the burrow tunnel. Still coming down here. miner's tent in here. Flatten that mountain. John said he's going to do a John Wayne walk. Okay. That's not how he walked.
Watch out, Pilgrim.
The grounds are quite large, but if you plan ahead, you can book a guided tour in a Polaris. There are no gas stations between Tonopah and Ely, but there are 2 rest stops. So we're having lunch. Grilled cheese on raisin bread. Yum. We are now coming to the Extraterrestrial Highway. It's Highway 375, right?
That's correct.
There are 169 miles and 7 summits between Tonopah and Ely. The region is characterized by long, flat valleys pierced by faulted mountain chains. At a population of 4,000, Ely is the largest town before we reach the outskirts of Provo, Utah. It was founded as a stagecoach station along the Pony Express. Today it's better known for its copper mining and home of the Northern Nevada Railroad Museum. But first we need a spot to spend the night. We're in a casino parking lot in Ely, Nevada. And we actually have to hang around here for another day because we couldn't get tickets on the railroad ride until tomorrow. You can actually see the charcoal kilns from here. Pretty sweet, $20 for non-residents. We are the only ones here at this beautiful campground. Ward Charcoal, what is it called? Ward Charcoal Ward Charcoal Kiln State, no. Anyway, it's a state park. And we're about a half mile from the charcoal kilns, and so we'll pay our fee and then we'll take a walk over there. No cell service though. But there's snow in the mountains here in early May. It's gorgeous. There are 15 sites and it's open all year. But the water may be shut off. Nice covered picnic area. This is a beautiful campground. How's it going? Discover anything?
Yeah, the pipe fits back in, no problem. And I could probably muzzle it and tighten it up. And I can rehang it from that. But this one here, remember we talked earlier and I said, I don't remember how that hooked.
John spent a little bit of time under the van today trying to see if he can fix that generator exhaust pipe. And I think we just need to figure out where it hangs on the van. When we have cell service again tomorrow, I'll email someone who also has an Ascent and ask them to take a picture of how it's hanging on the outside of the end of it. But off to the charcoal kilns. And there's a trail right across from the campground. 1 kilometer. Oh, look at that. John has discovered that the pit toilet is a great music box, that it reverberates nicely when he plays his music. So he's insisting that I come over and hear it.
I insist.
That sounds really good. Okay.
Let me see you do that, Owen.
It is 5:30 and there is nobody in this campground. Still, you'd think that somebody would come here tonight. Nope. Just us fools. Listening to music in the outhouse.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Avenue A.
Out there. Right. We made it here early to the Nevada Railroad Museum, and we're going to make some breakfast and wait till it opens. Smells like coal. If any of you have a ridge monkey and don't know where to store it, let me show you where I put mine. Right there. It works really well. Else do this to make room in the refrigerator? Everybody needs one of these suckers. So if you know somebody with a 3D printer, somebody should make these. That's essential. Because it dries out so fast, your sponge lasts longer. Soap dispenser, it's great. Wow, look at that. That looks like fun. When we were kids, we had one of those push-pull things.
Uh-huh.
It was a blast. What is it, a vacuum cleaner? Clean the coach cars. Man, that's huge. Well, both of our grandparents worked on the railroad.
That's great. My grandparents ended up being in Ohio.
And my grandfather, I don't know which one it was, somewhere down in Alabama. So the railroad closed when when the price of copper plummeted. And the reason it plummeted is because foreign countries that needed to pay off debt, and the copper mining there was controlled by the government. They didn't need to make a profit, but they needed the hard currency. So they were glutting the market with copper. And so the price fell from $1.25 or something down to 66 cents. Anyway, that's what caused Kennecott to close the mine, and which meant the railroad closed, and then they offered it to the town. When we lived in Cincinnati, my father worked for a company called Globe Wernicke. They made office furniture. And before Globe Wernicke, it was just Globe. Here are some filing cabinets from Globe. And then in the other room, there were some from Globe Wernicke. And speaking of my father, US 6 goes through a little tiny town in Pennsylvania called Corry. And my father used to work when I was from the time 6 months to 5 years old, he worked for a company there called Corry Jamestown, and they also made furniture. So we'll be going through Corry. I'm going to try to find our house we lived in. Last time we drove this, we then took 50 all the way across to Tahoe, of course, where our son lives. One of the coolest things about this place is that you can walk everywhere. Inside the, inside the buildings, next to the trains. They say just stay out of the way of the train. This train that just left is going to pick up a passenger, and it's the tour where you it's the one that's like $800, and you ride as an engineer.
Great. So Ruth is named after the town of Ruth, which is at the end of the line.
Oh, okay, Ruth Dealey.
And Copper Flat is the name of what the yard used to be up there at the old mine. So we have a flat car, and it just worked out to name it Copper Flat.
So if you ever have to travel without Ruth, you are ruthless.
This is very true.
Bum, bum, bum.
But on the show.
The conductor we were just talking to lives in Pocatello, Idaho, drives 6 hours on weekends to come down and be the engineer. That's a love of trains. We're going to see if we can fix the exhaust pipe, or not the exhaust pipe, the generator exhaust pipe here at this Ace Hardware in Ely. You need a bolt that size right there, and it is really tiny. It might be it. Yeah, that's it. Let me put my gloves on though. I'm going to scrape my knuckles. I want people to know John could do this, but I fit under here better. Do you have any pliers? Can you give me a vice grips? Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, it's a self-tapping screw, that's why. And so, yeah, I can see the holes over here. If they have something just slightly larger, give me that screw, let me see how it fits. Yeah, this one just pulls right out, but there are two other holes underneath it. Those would work. Let's see, this thing goes like that. It's swirly. You know what? This thing broke. So we should tie this up with some zip ties or something. So now you want to give me the pipe? This thing's heavy. It's heavier than you think it's going to be. Okay, I got it. But I think I need to do the one on the side. If we have something we can hold this up with, like, oh, you know what would be perfect, John? That little step stool.
Okay, so hold on a sec. This needs to be loosened up.
Wait a minute. Oh yeah, this thing's about to rip off here. This rubber piece, whatever that is. So yeah, if we run some straps to that, that'll really help. This is a two-man job.
I wouldn't be any good in the Army right now. I couldn't roll under a fence.
Yeah. Yeah, if you put one of those rubber mats right there, it'd be perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. Perfection. That's gonna go in there, and then I'm gonna try to go in that other hole. Here we go.
Couldn't do it without a ratchet or wrench.
No. We think we got it. I gotta get the stool and my glove.
I'll get it.
Okay. That was exhausting. It is 4:30 and now we gotta find a place to camp on a Saturday night. And it's getting very warm. So we'll see what we can find.